SEZANE haul for autumn 2023. Hello everyone, I hope you all had a really good week. So today I am very excited to share everything I've bought from SEZANE for autumn 2023. Some of you may know this is one of my absolute favourite French brands. I just find their pieces so incredibly timeless, yet they add that Parisian twist to them that just makes them feel that extra bit special. So with each piece I've chosen, I'm going to share a couple of different outfit ideas throughout this video, and as always, all my style tips to make those outfits feel even more chic, elegant and put together. So without further ado, let's start with outfit number one, the skirt. Now, while I've personally enjoyed the oversized fashion trends these last couple of years, I know that lots of you have wished it away with all of your might. So you'll be pleased to hear not only are the trends focusing more on feminine hourglass shapes, but SEZANE are following suit too. Which brings me to the pencil skirt, the Christian Dior classic that women have worn and loved since the 1950s. There's just something about pencil skirts that gets me every time, and I'm not even much of a skirt wearer. Out of all the different styles out there, I really feel that the pencil skirt is the most flattering. It just nips me in at the waist, highlighting the smallest part of my body and drawing the eye to that area. And you could accentuate that even more by adding a belt. You could style it with ankle socks and loafers for a bit of a younger, slightly cooler look, or keep it really elegant and sophisticated like I have in this first outfit idea. Later in this video, I'll share more of a casual look as well, so you've got a few different outfit ideas that you could reach for. But I would be really interested in hearing everyone's favorite. Do you prefer the pencil skirt quite dressed up or worn a little bit more casually? Do let me know in the comments below. The dress. This autumn-winter, the fashion trends are leaning in heavily on the term old money aesthetic. And while I must admit I do find that terminology a little bit elitist, what I do really like is the actual style. For me, that look is about classic pieces that just exude grace and elegance without the need for brashy logos or embellishments. And I think my first piece from SEZANE sums up the trend perfectly. One beautifully made, minimal, but incredibly elegant, long knitted dress. What I love firstly about this particular dress is that it's been made from merino and organic cotton, rather than just say 100% wool. This long shape and high neck could get super warm, but because of that cotton content, it actually feels really breathable and the perfect weight for autumn. The high neck does add an extra element of grace to the shape, but thankfully it's not tight around the neckline, which I do find really frustrating. And I just really love that little detail of the buttons running up the side. So straight off the rail, an absolute classic for years to come, but a particularly great piece if you're wanting to channel that old money style this particular season. Just a quick mention, if you're enjoying my styling tips and outfit ideas, I post videos on YouTube once per week. It's totally free for you to subscribe and it would be very much appreciated. The jeans. So heading to something a little bit more casual now with a new pair of jeans called Le Crop. I'm a big fan of SEZANE's denim. I think the quality is always fantastic, and no matter how many times I wash them, they come out looking just as new. So I was very excited to see one of my favorite Parisian brands finally launch a true straight leg crop. A style I see quite synonymous with that classic French style, to be honest. And I have to say, SEZANE have got the version spot on. From the high but not too high waist to the crop length just about skimming the top of my ankle. The fact that the hem has the tiniest amount of flare, which just helps elongate my legs a tiny bit more. Plus they've been made from 100% organic cotton, and the icing on the cake is that they've kept the price just under £100. While I think I will always love my classic Brut SEZANE jeans for their very traditional straight leg, these ones feel a little bit more up to date and very French, of course, which is never a bad idea in my book. You could dress them down for everyday style like I am here, or like I'll show you later on in this video, very easily dress them up too. Really versatile piece. The striped cardigan. Cardigans are definitely making a bit of a comeback this season, which might be why I spoilt myself to two for this particular SEZANE haul this autumn. Seen on the runway from the likes of Louise and Kate, to name but a few, it appears it's less twee and more on trend than it has been for years. So the first cardigan I chose would be this striped merino version that I decided to go for in the navy and the ecru stripes. It's also available in plain yarns if you prefer, and I think the cream being a particular favorite of mine, or perhaps actually the sage green I thought was really nice if you wanted to make a bit more of a statement. Just those very classic outfit ideas that SEZANE do very, very well, because they manage to add that little French twist to them that feels really original and genuine, but it also brings them up to date too. In actual fact, that's what I think you get with SEZANE, a bit of a mixture of those on-trend pieces. They've then given them a little bit of a sprinkle of Parisian magic, and yet they feel like wardrobe classics at the same time. The black blazer. Now there are two very distinct different fashion trends when it comes to blazers for autumn 2023. You can either go with the double-breasted jacket that's a little bit oversized, or a blazer with a slightly hourglass shape. Now I've decided to go with the former this season. I personally think it's going to have the most longevity in my own wardrobe. And also, as it happens, it's a style I've bought before from SEZANE, so I know and I love the shape. Now I had been on a bit of a mission recently to find the perfect black blazer. I tried on a couple in And Other Stories, COS, Reiss, H&M. I found a really good one that I showed you in the other week's video. But this one kept playing on my mind, so I decided to send the H&M one back and go with what I know and I love. So I have this one in camel and the navy, which I'm wearing, and I would say they are probably my absolute favorite blazers, my most worn blazers actually, in my entire wardrobe. They just hang right. I think some double-breasted jackets that have been made with quite a stiff fabric will inevitably look it, and that's just a bit too structured for me, and it can look a little bit try-hard. What I wanted and what SEZANE do very well is that perfect mixture of sophisticated, smart, casual, which I believe they've mastered the art of. You should never underestimate the power of a great blazer. The blue handbag. Next up in today's SEZANE haul to an accessory, and a really rather beautiful one too. Some of you might have seen this little reel that I shared over on my Instagram page, where I was styling my outfits around the bag. I was very excited when this one arrived. Now, as you can see, I went with it in the vintage blue, but I must admit I spent a silly amount of time reaching that decision. But in the end, I decided to follow my heart and add something just a little bit different into my own wardrobe. So I styled it in this first outfit idea with a color combination that I actually had in mind when I decided to go for the blue, and that would of course be with my favorite brown tones. It's a classic combination that feels incredibly elegant and sophisticated, but at the same time it's just a little bit different than, say, navy or black. Now, practicality wise, it's big enough to fit my purse, my phone and my lipstick. The strap is adjustable too, so you can wear it crossbody or over your shoulder, and I would equally fold those straps into the bag and use it as clutch as well, which I shall show you a little bit later in this video. Now, before I move on to the second outfit idea with all my pieces, I just wanted to quickly mention that I have created a newsletter. Each week I'll be sharing my top 9 picks that I've found on the high street, exclusive discount codes and giveaways, where I'll be offering you the chance to have an online styling session with me. It's totally free, so if that sounds like something you would like, I've added a link in the description box below for you to sign up after this video. So we're back to the stunning long beige dress again, and I wanted to share another way you could style it for autumn 2023. Now, in contrast to the first look, I've gone a little bit more everyday in this second outfit idea. Adding an oversized jacket over the top will effectively dress down the look, and it will enable you to wear it a bit more casually. If the jacket you choose is too structured, say this blazer for example, although tone-wise I do really like it, the overall effect is still going to feel very smart and put together. Choosing fabrics that drape a little bit softer or a little bit looser will help you create a much more relaxed look overall. There's no right or wrong between the two, it's just personal preference really, but it's handy to know from a style point of view so you can mix up your outfits depending on what you're doing. Now, I think the return of the pencil skirt has to be one of my absolute favourite fashion trends for autumn/winter 2023. There's just a modern elegance to that look that particularly appeals to me. And combined with the hourglass trend, it feels a really feminine season ahead. And actually, although here I'm styling it a little bit more casually than I did before, it did seem a shame to lose the definition of my waistband. So I decided to tuck in that knit instead. It's still giving me that column of colour on my bottom half, but the knit adds a bit more of a relaxed essence overall. Another idea would be to take Saint Laurent's lead and go with a bit of 80s boss vibes. Keep it simple with a tank or maybe a camisole underneath, because the blazer needs to be quite exaggerated and oversized. Now, obviously, you could take this as far as you want to, but for me, it would be something a little bit like this. I love the contrast of shapes from those wide shoulders to the straight pencil skirt. Great for the office or smarter events too. Next in this SEZANE haul, I'm going back to the cropped jeans, but this time I thought it would be nice to share a pretty typical Parisian look, making use of some of my lovely new pieces and seeing how nice they actually work when combined together too. To me, what feels particularly French with this outfit, aside from the obvious stripes, would be that style of ankle boot against the crop length of the jeans. It's something I've noticed time and time again on French women or in Paris street style imagery. The ankle boots are often round-toed, they're never silly high, and more times than not, they're styled with this cropped length of jeans to show off at least a good portion of their boots. Then when you add in the Breton stripes and a blazer, it's really the icing on the cake. And this base would work just as well if you added a t-shirt or a knit or a blouse underneath. Once you've got the base spot on, I think the combinations can just go on and on and on. Now, SEZANE actually described this cardigan as a jacket. I would personally say it's somewhere between a cardigan and a jacket. It probably would need layering more in winter, but at the moment, I think I can use it as a final layer. So with this next outfit idea, I wanted to try styling it as a jacket instead, and perhaps a little more laid back too, an everyday kind of style, just so you could really see how versatile it is. And this is a nice option if perhaps you're conscious of a bigger bust. Focusing the eye towards that one color item in the center like this with my plain top minimizes the width that stripes can sometimes create. Adding tailored trousers into the mix is quite elevating, but I've gone for a bit of a high-low approach by finishing with my trainers to bring it back into the realm of a casual outfit idea. And of course, the black blazer would indeed style with virtually any pair of jeans you might have in your own wardrobe. In fact, when I look at my wardrobe, there isn't much that I wouldn't wear with a blazer. It is quite possibly the most versatile item you could ever own. It would definitely work with the cropped jeans, as you saw with my navy version, but it would equally sit against straight too. Flared jeans would add a bit of a Jane Birkin vibe, and something a bit baggier would feel a bit more street style New York. I think the point I'm trying to make here is not to worry what type of denim are your particular favorites. A blazer, a jeans, and a nice top combo is going to work no matter what. Another really easy styling trick to making a special piece truly pop within your outfit ideas would be to pair it over a palette of white or beiges. Unless, of course, your handbag is white, and then, of course, you could go with black, which would have the same effect. Naturally, the eye will gravitate towards the color, and in this case, it would be the baby blue of my handbag, and it will make that the star of the show, which is what you want. And it would work against other tonal looks in a similar way, but probably not quite as pronounced as it would against those light neutrals. Now, the other element I've changed with this particular look is to tuck those straps into my handbag and carry it as a clutch instead. There is rarely only one way to style a handbag, which is good news because it's one of our biggest investment pieces. So do have a play around with wearing it crossbody, over your shoulder, tucked under your arm, or even for the evening as a clutch too. And if you've got this far throughout my video, thank you very much for sticking around. I really do appreciate it. The brown cardigan. So next up in the SEZANE haul for autumn 2023 to a cardigan some of you might have already seen in my recent knitwear video. But I thought I would share it in today's video too, with a couple of different ways I will be styling it, just to give you an arsenal of outfit ideas in your back pocket if perhaps you've got something similar in your own wardrobes already. And I'll also link that video in the description box below too, so you can watch that after this if you so wish. So this cardigan is made from a blend of merino. And aside from being in the soft brown tone that I chose, I really like it in the navy or the vintage blue. I actually really like the stripes as well. Or for something a little bit more statement, I think the garnet is absolutely gorgeous. Actually, thinking about it, the only color I probably wouldn't choose would be the purple, as that's just not really something I would wear. Like a lot of SEZANE knitwear, it's a teeny tiny bit oversized in the width, but certainly not in the length of the sleeves, etc. They do advise if you're between sizes, you should size down, but I don't think I would ever do that as I quite like the way it's fitting. So in my humble opinion, at the end of that big waffle, I would say go true to size. Style-wise, I'd say often my favorite looks are the least complicated ones. So if this was on the runway, for instance, stylists might pair it with sparkly pants with bright yellow tights and probably not a lot else. But that's not really going to work for me in Tesco. Keep it simple and just let those beautiful yarns do the talking for you. Styling the fluffy and really rather cozy brown cardigan again this time, but with a colour combination that I personally adore, sat against black. I think it's the sharpness of the black sat against the softness of the brown that really does it for me. It just accentuates the richness of the camel even more. And if it doesn't say autumn, I really don't know what does. Alternatively, you could leave the cardigan open and style with something a little bit lighter underneath, forcing the eye to focus on the white instead. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, I would very much appreciate if you would like to subscribe. I post my main videos every single Sunday and occasionally, with 3 children depending on what they're doing, an extra video midweek too. So there's lots of outfit ideas and style tips to be had on my channel. Simply tap the button here to subscribe, and if you'd like to be notified that I've just launched a new video, you can tap the bell as well. I really hope you've enjoyed watching all my Parisian style favorites that I've chose this month, and most importantly, my SEZANE haul has given you armfuls of outfit ideas and inspiration of what to wear this season. And it would be lovely to hear from you all in the comments section below. Do let me know if you've got a favourite outfit idea or perhaps a favourite piece. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and hopefully I will see you all again on Sunday. Take care.